What's going on, fellow masters? Musaki from the County of Gears here, sitting here with the wonderful, fantastic content creators above me. Soberoni from Gina Reviews,
Hey yo.
and Justin from KawaiiFive0h.
It me. Hello.
Yeah, not sure if you've seen the storm on Twitter, but apparently my thoughts on, on FGO is quite controversial a little bit, but basically, that's what we're talking about here today. Just want to talk about the fact of FGO competing in this modern gacha world. It is a 9-year-old gacha game. It is archaic, the Summoner's War of the New Age. But I really felt like with my comment, me saying that, it can't compete with Honkai Star Rail, can't compete with Wuthering Waves. People will know it. It will be relevant based off the name of Fate. But that's it, and that sucks. I feel like Fate has such great characters, has phenomenal stories, and so much potential, and it sucks to see that people don't want to play the game, and they only know about it through dojins or hentais, and I'm like, man,
No, it's the new Toho Project syndrome.
it is. Like, oh my god, no. So that's kind of what I meant by it. But people seem to think that I was just out and out saying that, FGO sucks. FGO is horrible. It's never going to make anywhere. It's not going to make any money or anything. And I'm like, I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all.
People were like, I can't believe Moo's starting a Wuthering Waves channel.
Oh my gosh.
Like, oh man, he jumped ship.
He jumped ship.
Oh,
Just
no.
like when I started doing Honkai stuff, I can't believe he's riding the
I can't
wave.
believe it. God. Jeez, I stream Resident Evil once. Is this a Resident Evil channel now?
Oh no.
Are you riding that Capcom wave?
It's like, Capcom has some good games come out in the past few years. Dude, they made billions of dollars in this past few years, but
Yeah, they've
No,
been
no.
putting out bangers.
Capcom's dying because they removed Ashley's panty shots. Didn't you?
Oh
Didn't you
yeah, I
get that memo?
forgot.
Damn
I
it.
forgot about that. It's dead.
Resident
Of
Evil
course.
4 nothing.
Dead on Arrival, DOA, rest in peace, Capcom. But yeah, no, I wanted your guys' thoughts because, well, Soberoni, we've been friends for ages since the beginning, and Justin, we talk on occasion. I'm pretty sure if we talked more, we'd be awesome friends. As I like talking with you. But
Probably,
yeah. Honestly, share a beer, drinky. I might not drink. But yeah, let's start with Oni. What are you thinking with FGO? Do you think it's fine just the way it is, or do you think like it could do something to try and compete with the modern landscape?
So I've actually been vocal about this on streams. I really want a new FGO, like an FGO 2. Pretty much for the same reasons you voiced in your controversial post. I don't think that it's pretty much living on legacy
Yes.
because it's done. Its system is kind of simplistic, like the gameplay system, and there's only so much you can do and innovate with it. So at this point, it's mostly just people who play FGO play it for the story and the events and all of that stuff. And I wonder how long that can continue to attract new players. Like it's fine for us now because it's like the collab that we just had in JP was awesome.
Right.
Like 3 collab. But at a certain point, you can only collab with yourself so many times. Mouse is going to run out of work still. He can't be out here pushing out 1 million collabs.
Right.
So when that well dries up and we have to come back to, how do we attract new players? I don't think it's going to live up to that hype of Wuwa or Honkai.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that. That's a point. The whole thing of being able to, the fact that they only collab with themselves, which I mean, they're big enough to where they don't need to collab with anyone really, but it's just the sheer fact of that you're gonna run out of stuff eventually, even if
it's a very insulated community.
And it saddens me because I feel like we can be further than that. Justin, what about you? What do you think?
So I did notice that some people brought up like it's kind of unfair to compare like a 9-year-old game to like a brand new game, which like I get that to a degree. That, you know, there were certain engines, certain systems, concepts, and gameplay that didn't exist like back when FGO came out. However, at the same time, you've also got to consider that FGO is a game occupying the same landscape, I guess you would say, as games like Honkai Impact, Genshin, Nikkei, all of those. So since FGO is occupying that space, despite its age, I mean, comparisons are just going to happen. Comparisons are going to be completely unavoidable. And I mean, you still get that with older games today. Like, how long has Grand Blue been out? How long has Puzzles and Dragons been out? Like, those games are still making money. You're still making those comparisons. And I mean, comparatively, back from the heyday when like JP was just like consistently topping. I seem to remember seeing people being like when Salem came out, there was just like an Abby standee next to the Google Play gift cards I saw as an image on the Reddit.
Yeah.
And that stuff was gone. That stuff was completely and utterly gone. But I mean, now we're hitting this. I'm just looking at, I don't know if you guys ever check out Gacha Revenue, but Gacha Revenue is an amazing website that shows like price by region and stuff like that. And if we're looking at like FGO JP for this month, it made like 14 mil, which is pretty like...
It's a lot of money for us.
I'll take that.
But Honkai CN made 66, Honkai Global made 43, and that's Star Rail, by the way. And then Genshin made 82 in China and 37 globally. Jeez. So like even then, it's like the signs are there. I mean, we've got all these other games coming out like over here that are also going to start taking up that space. And I know Oni was saying you're playing like a ton of games right now, a ton of games. And everyone's only got so much time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everyone's only got
And
so much time.
money.
When I've got stuff like that, new SD Gundam game that's coming out, the Super Robot Wars game, I have a fever dream that I hope is going to come to the West.
One
Maybe
day.
Persona 5, the Phantom X will come out here. It's the comparisons are going to be unavoidable. People are going to be looking at what these new games have to offer and what FGO is offering, and they're going to have to weigh that.
Right. No, exactly. And that's pretty much all I was saying. Like, FGO, I'm not saying that FGO is going to die. I'm not saying that FGO isn't making money. It's still making enough money to compete and be in the conversation. And it's Fate. It's going to last because you really can't run out of content with Fate.
Yeah.
It's not really possible. But it is just something about playing these other gacha games. Like, for a while, FGO was the only really gacha game I played. I dabbled in Azure Lane, I dabbled in Arknights and everything else, but FGO was like the mainstay. But then the pandemic happened, and then Genshin came out, and then it changed the conversation of what a gacha game is. Now it's no longer, it could be an RPG, card-based, it could be like Mahjong or whatever. Now it could be a legitimate game with gacha elements in it. And I was like, FGO, what could you do to that? We have FGO Arcade.
Yes, we all love FGO Arcade.
You mean had?
Yeah, that's now the pandemic killed that too. And I'm just like, if you would have put those same resources into like a 3D game to go to the PC, maybe be fine. And I just
multi-platform release.
Right.
Multi-platform
release. Let's do that.
Would have been great because
they have enough startup money. They got it.
They honestly do. It's like, it's not like I'm telling like a small indie company who made Lethal Company or Content Warner, hey, you better make a...
They hired Yoshinori Ono. Like, they have the money.
Right?
They got bang. I think what Genshin did was kind of create a new type, like you said, a new type of gacha game. So I think there's two genres of gacha games. There's the sit-down, actual, like, I'm playing a console game, like Genshin, Honkai. And then there's like the I just need to log in 5 minutes while I'm in the bathroom or something.
Right.
And I feel like FGO kind of just trying to straddle both, because if you really want it, you can grind in FGO. It's kind of like Grand Blue where you can stay there all day and kind of just play.
Yep.
But I would like to see it pick a side. Be that 5 minute gacha game, and then maybe release like an expanded A 3D Fate would be so fucking awesome.
Man,
That would literally be my dream come true. If we could just
Same.
get Fate, but like with Kenshin style, controls or whatever, or Rula, that'd be amazing. Listen, just hire Platinum Games. You got the money.
For real.
I'm all for
the
that,
combat
man.
system, man. Go balls to the wall with it.
Dude, imagine playing a Saber doing a Stinger combo.
Swapping between servants and shit. Oh, my god.
my god, that'd be
We
so.
kind of got that a little bit with Samurai Remnant, but I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
it still straddled the like Dynasty Warriors line. And listen,
Mm.
nobody watching this, don't you dare think I'm hating on Dynasty Warriors. The
Damn
only
right.
Dynasty Warriors I hate on is 9. I love Dynasty
Yep.
Warriors,
Yep.
but it still is like straddling that line. And I think they could even do a like bigger, better turn-based Fate. I mean, it's not like turn-based RPGs are dead in any capacity.
Right.
Dragon Quest XII is gonna blow the lid off of everything. People are still waiting for a Persona 6.
Mhm.
Baldur's Gate 3 was Game of the Year last year. Everywhere.
Turn-based.
There you go.
Turn-based game.
Yeah, like turn-based has its place, and FGO can definitely be a turn-based game if they wanted to go that route. Just like the new player experience for FGO is abysmal. Like I got some new members of the team, and I was trying to all right, cool. So let's start up FGO. Let me get you going because they like Fate. They like Fate in general. I was like, oh well, I haven't tried FGO in a while. Let's get them back into it. And for the life of me, the onboard experience is so bad. It's just like, man, it's like, and then they go play Honkai Star Rail for the first time, and that's all they play now.
It's really hard to convince people off of like Honkai or Genshin. I anecdotal, but I remember years ago when like Epic Remnant was coming out, or even like the very first Lost Bout, I would always get messages like DMs on Discord or just on comments on YouTube where it was like, hey, I decided to pick this game up for the first time. What servant do I level? How do I do this? And I feel like if I get one of those comments, it's one to the blue moon now, where somebody just started FGO and doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, is a new player to FGO.
Right. Yeah, no, it's rare. What about you, Justin? Have you seen a lot of new
I
players?
mean, I
your
get
way?
those comments now and again, but I really feel like, I think that's kind of the crux, if anything. It's not necessarily the graphics, because I legitimately don't believe graphics sell games anymore. I really don't. You could have convinced me that between like the PS1 through PS3 era, but nowadays, I mean, we've got like stuff like Stardew and all that,
Right.
Like that are doing gangbusters and look like they could have come out on a Super Nintendo. Vampire Survivor is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
Like it's not a graphical thing, and a lot of people like to say, you're just saying that because it looks older comparatively to Honkai and Genshin and Nikkei and all that. I really don't think that's it. All of those games, when I was sort of onboarding through them, they had a very good new player experience. Not only did they have a good experience in, oh no, it's my bedtime is 10 p.m. alarm. Hang on one second.
No worries, no worries.
Not only did they have a really good experience in that players, are able to, slowly work their way into the mechanics, learn how this works, learn how that works, get everything presented to them, and then have that actually culminate in a challenge where it's like, okay, use everything we taught you to try to supplant this. But they end up having those moments, like, those like catch-all moments that you get in a game where like this crazy thing happens, and the second you hit that, it's like, I get it. I understand it. Easy one for our reference. I mean, how many reactions are there on YouTube to the Cocolia fight from Honkai Star Rail? Just that combination of gameplay and visuals and the music hitting just right works. I could go on and on about like all the games that end up hitting that point. Like, easy one. The first time you fight Rathalos in Monster Hunter, like the first time you're able to destroy Rathalos, you see him flying around, you see him everywhere, you're afraid of him, and then you're finally not. I don't really think FGO has a moment like that. I mean, they try to present it when you fight Salter in Fuyuki, but it's just really not there. Most of that moment is conveyed through, the dialogue of the moment.
Right.
And you don't really actually get that feeling through the emergent gameplay like you would if, say, you watched the FGO anime they did of Fuyuki, where you actually, see Ritsuka come into his own and, force back Salter and all that. That moment, while it exists in the writing, it doesn't feel like it exists in the game.
Correct. And it's on the onus of the game to show that. Like, honestly, I didn't feel that in the game until Solomon, when it's it clearly shows Ritsuka picking up the shield and going at the big bad. I'm just like, that felt like a moment, but you had to go through 7 other chapters to get to that point.
That's the other thing. The very intro of FGO is really rough to get through, like especially the first 3 or so chapters up until at least Okeanos is a little bit fun.
Yeah,
I knew someone was going to accept them.
Yeah, like
accept them. Just
the story.
Just click that skip button.
It's just the story is just so early on. Like Camelot to me is when it really starts taking off. That's why they make movies on them and everything else. But it's hard to sell one. Hey man, the story gets good 6 chapters in.
Yeah, I mean the payoff crushes if you stick with it. The payoff
it's a worthwhile investment.
But it's getting people to buy into your investment. It's like I have honestly had more difficulty, at least lately, trying to get people to buy into FGO in those early chapters than I have in trying to get people to buy into a Souls game.
That's wow. Wow.
That's rough.
I mean, Elden Ring
that
helps
realization
with that.
was rough.
That is a very rough realization, and Elden Ring helps with that, and that's all I'm saying. Like, if FGO itself isn't going to evolve, because yes, I get it, spaghetti, string code, super old, whatever other excuse you want to give me, make a new game. Make the FGO 2. Like Oni said.
FGO 2.
Like, even though people say, oh, but I put all my money into this game, I have all these servants, and it's like, yes, some cost fallacy sucks. We get it.
I spend more money on this game than I venture most people have, and I'm here asking for FGO 2. If I can take that sunk cost, you guys can.
Yeah, because, like, the money's already gone. Like, you already put it in there, and you can't take it out. And it's not very typical for people to be able to transfer their stuff. Now, if they want to give us a cool little gift, like 5-star selector, like, oh, yeah, y'all did this, get a 5-star selector in this game. I'm like, sign me up.
Yeah,
like, There's so many ways they could do an easy transition, but even if they didn't do a transition and tried to actually go the upgrade route, I mean, it's not like it's unheard of.
Right.
Have you guys ever heard of a little game called World of Warcraft?
Yeah, yes, I have.
So when did WoW originally come out?
It's like late 90s?
It was 98.
Early 2000s?
Was. And I kid you not. And I'm just making sure I got my actual release date down. November 23rd, 2004.
Whew. And how many times they reboot or remake or...
Yeah, how many times they just reboot, they add a new system, they do, something different. They had the whole Cataclysm expansion, just completely gave it a fresh coat of paint, gave it a fresh coat of systems and all that. And I know someone's going to say, Blizzard has infinity money from all the subs, yada, yada, yada. FGO is a tidy sum of money, too.
Yeah,
that I feel like that they could invest in the gameplay systems.
They literally made more money than Fortnite in 2018 or 19, so no excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still can't believe that was an article. It's like Fortnite dethroned by Japanese turn-based gacha game. I'm like,
dethroned by female King Arthur.
Literally. Freaking Artoria doing the gritty.
We still not have a Fate / Fortnite collab. Come on.
That'd be another reason to play Fortnite.
With everyone else.
It's media the franchise. I mean, they've got Fallout and Lethal Company in the same patch right now.
I mean, look, my chat paid me $1,000 overall to play Fortnite. That'll give me another reason to play. Oh man,
good luck, man. That's the real boomer test when you play Fortnite. I played it and I was like, what am I doing?
I'm right there with you, Oni. When I tried to shoot a man from across the map and his response was literally building the Arc de Triomphe, I realized this isn't for me.
How can I build and shoot at the same time?
No, I did no build zone. I was like, I can't. You ain't put me in no builder. Put me in no build. I'll go from there. I can't. I'm not playing Minecraft.
That wasn't an option.
Ah, dang. Look, I'll drag you back.
I'll stick with Apex if I want to battle.
No, FGO content creators play Fortnite. Come on, let's do it.
That's the most miserable Fortnite team.
Oh, that'd be fun though.
Yeah.
Oh man, but
I mean, I'll get immediately murdered and stare at the screen for several hours until you all get murdered too. That's fine.
Hey, look, no, I'm gonna revive you. I'll get you. But yeah, no, I feel like it's time for a change. It can happen. They make enough money to do it, and the story in JP is getting to a point where we're getting to an ending point. It's very clear. That's why they're dragging it out as much as possible. It's like,
what if that's why they're dragging it out?
Yeah, that's possible. If there's any good ever a time for a reset, it would be now, or like a new FGO.
Right, it's just the moment it ends, and it's like, all right, well, FGO 2 comes out next month or something crazy.
FGO 2 comes out tonight.
Like, wait, what?
That's the last order call. It just says buy FGO 2, and there's a download link.
You just watch Rika hand off the briefcase to like a Yu-Gi-Oh style protagonist, and it's just like FGO 2 comes out tomorrow, man.
Oh man,
damn, that'd be hype.
Honestly, I'd be all about it for real. But honestly, that's just our thoughts on it. I know we can probably go in depth and talk about it forever. We might just start a podcast now. I might just indirectly started a podcast.
Isn't that just what everyone does when they turn 30?
Damn.
I was ahead of the curve. I had a podcast when I was 24.
He's like, already there. But y'all, what do y'all think? Let us know down in the comments. Obviously, we can have civil discussions about this. Hopefully. But, it's been great. Hopefully we do more like this. If you want to see more, please comment below. But make sure you follow these two, please, if you haven't already. But yeah.
He's pointing like this, and y'all are like this.
Yeah, wherever it aligns.
Oh, man. But in the meantime, I'm Musaki from the Categories, and I'm sitting here with Soberoni.
What's up?
And Justin from KawaiiFive0h.
Hey.
And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.